Good evening, everyone.
Hey, Bill.
Good evening.
How you doing, Bill?
Good, how are you guys?
How you doing, buddy? Good?
Good, Eddie.
That up, boy.
Oh, no. Hey, buddy.
Jay, were you able to get on? See on?
Here's the trouble. If you guys gave me the passcode, I can put it on my iPad, which is a bigger screen. I can navigate it better. So there still must be a passcode involved, because that's what I used to do at all the other meetings.
Yeah, I know. Do used to,
Yeah.
but just clicking on that Zoom, I just
Didn't
watched.
help.
Yeah,
No, I got, see, because that's off of my, this iPad doesn't have my AOL. You know, so it's not like it's in there like how we're doing on my phone.
Yeah. Just,
But with the passcode, I'm able to go around that. Because I kind of know what to do now.
Sarah, do you have a passcode that we can send him that I can text him?
Tell me it.
I think you should have got a password, like in when you're
No,
doing.
well, no, it didn't
on
show
the
any pass.
agenda?
It just showed the number to go on. It didn't show any passcode.
Like when you click on Zoom, when we used to run Zoom meetings, there was a passcode that you had to enter back in
Did
the day.
everyone else who's in the meeting get a passcode?
No, I didn't.
But you're in.
Yeah.
Right, and I make sure. on my
Regular
phone.
Zoom.
See, Rosie, I used to use my iPad, an older iPad, for the meetings, you know, because it has a bigger screen.
Right.
This is the first time I'm using my phone. So
Yep.
you probably can't see me because I don't see me. Because I don't know how to turn on the video now because everything is different.
Should be a little icon on the bottom of the phone, at the bottom of the screen.
It says you're in, oh, I see what you mean. Okay, move it across.
Mhm.
It says Bill and then see who else is there. Oh, okay. Good thinking, buddy. Thank you. Okay, I have to turn, wait, I know I have to do it. Okay, start the video. That'll help a lot.
There you are.
Yay.
All right, see, okay.
Yes,
Now I have to figure, okay, where I can put, oh, gee, what did I do now? I'm back to Bill. All right.
Jim, have we got a quorum yet?
I'm checking right now. Give me 1
All right,
second.
as long as you can see me, I'll just use my phone.
We could see you.
Right, but usually like when it comes to the multiple ones, I don't know if I have to turn it horizontally or whatever, you know?
That I can't help you with.
I know. Somebody else clicking.
I think we're waiting for one more, Bill, to get the quorum.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
we got him.
Hey, you got it. There you go.
If you want to wait for Karen's connecting right now, we're all good.
Okay, we'll give Karen a few
I'm here.
seconds to connect.
Good.
Thank you,
Good.
Karen.
You weren't coming in. Okay, there you are. Meeting with them. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if we have our quorum, it is 6:01 on my clock, so we'll call the meeting to order. And the minutes of the January meeting were either mailed or emailed. If there are no additions, corrections, or deletions, a motion to accept the minutes as presented would be in order.
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second
I'll
Second.
Go ahead.
on the question? All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Minutes are approved as presented. And please, I will remind you that identify yourself when you make a motion. It makes Sarah's life and Rosie's life a lot easier when they try to do the minutes and follow up on this tomorrow. So if we could do that, that would be greatly appreciated. Fiscal report, Dave.
Yep. Hi, everybody. I
Hey,
think the approval of the annual audit and the 990, I think that's gonna take place under other business. The audit committee did meet on February 9th. And there was a typo I just saw on the agenda. It says the 2019-20 audit. It's actually 2020-21. But I gotta take a look at some of the items on the statement of contract budgets and expenditures. Starting with DOE. DOE's in good shape. We're 58% through the program year, and we expended 58% of the funding. Our LIHEAP crisis startup funding of $99,000 is fully expended. We began using LIHEAP ARPA funding, which has $95,000 to date in expenditures. Utilities is doing pretty good this year. We have a net income of $57,000 through January 31st. Head Start and Early Head Start. That is a contract balance of $711,000. We are currently in the process of closing out that contract period, and I expect the final balance to be around $625,000. And as mentioned in previous meetings, we'll be requesting a carryover of that contract balance. PDE, our budget revision was approved to include an additional $117,000 in funding we received. This was utilized towards increasing wages. Our total budget's now $4 million. Pre-K counts, we are 58% through the contract year and expended 47% of the funding, so we're a little bit behind there. Early Head Start Child Care Partnership, we're 50% through the contract period and expended 40% of the funding. We did just sign an agreement with a partner to take 8 of the 16 slots that we needed to replace. Those slots were taken at $11,667 a month. So our costs will increase going forward. And we still have 8 more slots that we need to fill there. CSBG, we got our allocation for the first 2 quarters of the new contract period, and that totaled $251,000. And CSBG Cares discretionary is just about closed out with a $12,000 balance remaining through September 30th of 2022. Any questions?
No,
Hearing no questions, can we have a motion to approve the fiscal report as presented? And to follow up on Dave's comments, under other business, we will review the 990 and the audit by Mike Barbetti and Barbetti and McLean Company. Is there a motion to approve as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Second,
I'll
Joe
second,
Murphy, I'll
Lena
second.
Karushko.
All right.
thank you. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Opposed? Fiscal report is approved as presented. Jim, review of the active grants.
Okay. As you can see, coming through, we're doing great on non-federal, matching the non-federal share for Head Start and Early Head Start. We're on track with Schultz Foundation, Early Learning Resource Center grants. Pretty much everything's moving through as it has been the last couple months. The OECD of the city of Scranton with the 85,000. We're still waiting on just money spent, reimbursing, getting some cash, getting that back in. The CDBG grant that you see for the playground at German Head Start, that is something that KBA Engineering is handling out of German for them. So hopefully we'll have that all complete for this summer. Scranton Area Foundation will be complete in the next couple months. The Willer Foundation, as you can see, has been. We will, all those are tied into the Pre-K Center, as well as the All One Foundation, the Schultz, the Scranton Area Foundation, PPL, the Spitz 2, PNC, CDBG grant. That was the sprinklers that was paid for. And So that was part of that. A lot of these grants are tied into the starting of phase 2, which we're still waiting on from the federal government to give us the okay. We cannot proceed without that. You can scroll down, Sarah, to that other sheet that we're just working on with the grants. And I don't believe there's any changes, but I just want to make sure. Yeah. So the SPP is what we raised. It was last year was year before was 125. This last year we raised 85,000, which we have, I believe, 50,000 in hand as of date. And we're applying for a few other grants as we're going forward. We were approved for a City of Scranton grant through childcare, which just got a hard copy of well, I shouldn't say a draft copy of the contract now today. So that will be on the agenda for next month as well. Is there any questions that I can answer concerning any of the grants or anything that we're applying for, where we're at with the status?
There are no questions, and thank you, Jim, for the report, and we'll move right into human resources.
Hi,
Cindy, are you
everyone.
there?
How's everybody doing?
Good.
We added more this month. We had a education coordinator and a coach. They both came on board. We're waiting for some of the clearances there's even more people that we're waiting for clearances for than are on here now. Most of the deleted ones are the people with no vaccine and no exemption. And we are still in the process of doing the testing of the people with the exceptions. We're doing that every weekend. And we are still looking for teachers. So if anybody knows anybody, we're also looking for an accountant too. John Marsico has left, so need to fill his spot. If anybody knows anyone, send them my way, please. This is where we are with their vaccinations. There's like, of the 25 that are not vaccinated, the majority of them just had COVID. So I would say like 10 of them, we don't even test yet because they're off for 90 days and because they would still test positive if we tested them now. But as you can see by the by position, who it is. And they're doing good getting us everything. If they could just figure out how to upload some of them, I'd be very happy. The turnover is at 16%, but you have to remember that some of those were the people without the vaccines or the exemptions. So everybody is still interviewing as they come in, and hopefully we'll get all caught up. And that's what we're trying to do. And we had one gentleman who did interview for the accountant, and he was looking for a life work balance because tax season's coming up. But he was working in the private sector, and we can't touch the private sector and their wages. So we're starting again. Does anybody have any questions? I'm watching what Sarah's doing.
If not, Chair will accept a motion to approve the human resource report as presented.
This is Karen. I'll make the motion.
Thank
And
you,
this is-
Karen.
And Rena Bevelacqua, I'll make a motion, second it.
Thank you. Thank you, Rena. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The human resource report is accepted as presented. Linda, once again, the privilege of the chair, I will ask you to work work together with item 7, the policy council. And we'll do one motion to approve both items 6 and 7 after we have the presentation. So floor is yours, and please turn the microphone over to our policy council rep, Christine Healy, if she's on board.
Yes, I believe she's here. Hello, everyone. Hope you're
Hello.
all doing well. The first item obviously is our dashboard report. You've seen that a whole lot. Pretty steady in terms of our progress toward outcomes. Still struggling with 2 of those being the WIC and the trauma in our CCP centers, both heavily impacted by COVID. So those are pretty much on standstill. Otherwise, we're doing really well according to plan. With regard to our board report, if we take a look at enrollment, remember we have 961 slots funded for Head Start and HISAP children. We are below by 371 right now. And of note is the fact that 6 classrooms, which equal about 122 slots, have not yet opened. And when they don't open as essential, we're not able to include them into the enrollment. And such is the case with Early Head Start as well, where we have 4 out of 10 classrooms that we cannot count in enrollment, and those are 32 slots. In EHS, we are under about 83 children at this point. The CCP program, the partnerships with the child care centers, we have about 31 that we are under enrolled at this point as well. Again, same sorts of issues with our partners in terms of staffing and parents hesitant to enroll their children. The report is pretty straightforward, just calling your attention to the end if you're interested in the exact vacancies that we have open. As Cindy has explained, still several teachers, assistant teachers, family workers, et cetera. And that's what's preventing us from opening centers. There's also a report of the centers that are open and closed. On the 7th, we were able to open Dunmore and Honesdale and Bushgill and Mid-Valley 1 and West 2. And unfortunately, today we find that we have to close South Scranton 4 that was just opened on the 26th, again, due to staff resignation. So that's a constant give and take. The only item here of significance has to do with our Aetna contract, which is near signature at this point. I just wanted to point out that they have some very, very strict protocol with regard to confidentiality, encrypted email, et cetera. That we are bound to, as well as a 10-year records retention clause and access to all of their records and, of course, the audit during that time. So the 10 years is a little out of the ordinary for us. We did purchase additional space on our database, so we are all set for that to roll. The other insurance company that we'll be dealing with is AmeriHealth, soon to follow. Aetna is paying for a full-time parent educator to work in our 4 counties to provide an enhanced level of service on top of the Early Head Start program that they're already receiving, particularly aimed at parenting and maternal and child health. And that's it. I can turn it over to our esteemed Christine.
Good evening,
Thank
Christine.
you.
So basically with Policy Council, we're gearing up for our self-assessments and setting up a committee to assess what needs are still needed out there for the families. We're also in the middle of starting our safety blitzes of the outside, getting ready for spring with playgrounds and making sure the classrooms and the buildings are up to code and safe for the kids to come in. And in addition, I just want to say that Linda works crazy busy and tirelessly for all of our families. It's so noted. And we as Policy Council are trying to find the best ways to get people in to be teachers, to be workers to get things staffed, to get our classrooms open. But Linda and like everybody in the office just works with us, listens to our ideas, works crazy busy, and they don't have the time, but they always make time for us. And I just have to let you know that's very appreciated as a parent. So I wanted to let you guys know that as well.
Thank you, Christine. We have a very dedicated staff. Absolutely.
You do, and you work so hard, and they all do, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you, Christine. These are truly trying times, and trying to staff the centers is very challenging at this point. To the board, you've heard the item 6, the early learning and the policy council report. If there are no questions, then I will call for a motion to approve items 6 and 7 as presented in their reports.
Ed Karpovich, I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Ed. There's a second.
Joe Murphy, I'll second it.
Thanks, Joe. On the question? All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Items 6 and 7 are approved as presented. TFAP report. Jim, I think you're doing that one.
The TFAP report runs from January to April 22nd. We had a total commodity served of 1,086 units. So far this year, we've served 1,498 people. It seems like all of the bugs that have been plaguing us for the last year are worked out with this new Gold Star Foods provider. So as they are working out, we are going to be expanding. You should see these numbers be going up. But really, I think Gold Star Foods and everybody else is still dealing with staffing issues. So you can get the order in, but it could be gone where they cannot turn around and get the commodities out as we would like. But as you can see, we have 24 partner sites, and Rosie is doing a good job of trying to reach out every month to see who needs food commodities and see if we can get them there when they need them.
Questions to Jim? Hearing none, no motion is needed on the report. Weatherization? Greg, are you there?
I am here. Can anybody see me?
Yes. Well, I can see. I don't know about anybody else, but you look
I can see
good.
you.
Oh, that's all that matters. No, as long as you could see me. All right. Basically, if you look down the jobs, start with DOE. We had 6 jobs completed, puts us at 27. We're well on our way to our year-to-date goal of 42, and that's a big number because this is the end of the 5-year cycle for DOE. So the next hit of funding we'll get on DOE will be the Biden Build Back Better infrastructure bill. So at that point, any money not used up is going away. So you want to have that, all used up at that point, and we're way ahead of the game on that. We have till the end of June 30th to do that. So that's that, should not be a problem. Down to LIHEAP ARPA, you don't see anything there because that's money that's being used for crisis jobs. And then if you move to crisis jobs, we closed out that initial startup of 99,307. That money's now all gone. And we have begun to use some of the LIHEAP ARPA that you'll see in the next board report. And you'll see all those crisis jobs basically being put under that. And there's about 347,000 of which, we've already burned up, but darn near close to a third of that. So any money left over there will go to weatherization. We'll see how that is as we go down there. LIHEAP, the Clean and Tune program, again, at this point, it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but I think we're working on something where we're going to end up doing clean and tunes on our weatherizations. And then also come the summer, I think I'd like to get a big list together of all our clients and really hit them, call them, and get the Clean and Tune program really moving at that point when we slow down, when crisis ends. There's no reason not to service people on the Clean and Tune and really, start using a lot of that up. Pilot jobs, didn't have any pilot jobs this month, did a lot of bidding, and you're going to see a lot of jobs actually going out next month. In fact, I think we're going to be working on about 5 of those as we go right now. Then we moved to the UGI and we got our budgetary award amounts for the beginning of the year because they're a calendar year, not like Department of Energy. And so budgetary amounts there are our P&G North program is 600,000 up from 550. With the PP&L program going away and some other things in the works, I requested a little more and they gave it to us. I think we can get a lot of that done going forward. Part of the DOE money might not come in until September on that new bill. So that gives us an opportunity to really hit a lot of that money, in the middle of the summer. Also, the CPG and the electric are the same amounts, 150 and 120. And we're already kind of tracking pretty good on the UGIP CPG amounts, quite frankly. So might even request a little more there. Then we come down to cap. Revenue for January was about 8,200. Our goal this year, we raised it a little bit, moved it up to 95,000. So we'll see how we go. We ran a little bit lower, but I think it's a tough time, and we're seeing that even with audits and stuff. With the Corona running at 30,000 a month, it was kind of or 30,000 a day for a while. It was kind of not that easy to get people, and our organization got hit here with the intake staff, and so but we're going in February, so things are tracking. SLRDC, a lot of the stuff is moving the same. I know we're working with Johnson College on North Main Avenue, and they're back from break. So me and Maria Yanello, who's also working on this, getting a lot of the bidding in place with some of the contractors to get that project moving. Everything else is kind of really just tracking. Nothing that new to report there. So that's kind of it as far as weatherization goes. Any questions?
If there are no questions, thank you for all the hard work you do. I know the community appreciates it and greatly appreciates it. I think from your report will stand as presented. A motion is not needed tonight for weatherization. Workforce Initiative and Identigo. Jim?
Thanks, Bill. As you can see, we have a goal of 3,967 for the state and 1,035 people use for the federal. For the month of January, we served 439 state fingerprint clearances, and the federal 229. So you can see it's pretty busy. It's almost every 10 minutes we have somebody in there. The problem, as I always point out, is the reimbursement is absolutely terrible. So without other funding that we put into the place, we wouldn't even be able to operate that program. As you can see, a total year-to-date goal is $30,000. That doesn't even cover one full-time staff with French benefits and everything else included. But our Workforce Initiative program is moving along. We did have one gentleman leave us that started for another opportunity down in Florida. But we are continuing to move along. Sarah, if you can scroll up a little bit. We have started the Rise and Ride program, and I believe there was 63 people that we've helped obtain a job and keep for at least 3 months that are paying a living wage. Rise and Ride is coming off. As you can see here, there's 21 clients were enrolled based on income eligibility. 45 applicants have been in for the program, and this program is doing what we expected it to do, right? The community needs have said that transportation was an issue, and one of the things you can see there is the type of rides provided. So 48 rides were medical, 16 were work related, and 8 were returning clients. And, it's working to where some of those returning clients are using it until their car gets fixed or their vehicle assistance gets fixed, or where they can save enough money, and then they're going off the program. So it is working. The rental assistance program, we are continuing to help try to provide people with that. We just try to help them with the applications. Obviously, we do not accept that is through the county and also whoever that they just put out to RFP. The City of Trash Assistance, we just did a big mailing. I believe 500 people we mailed out of about 1,000 that we've identified out of the 4,000 person list that would qualify. And we should be seeing more progress on that in the next month. The vehicle assistance program is continuing to do well. I believe we're about 60% there right now on the services. And on the veteran services, we are working with Lockheed Martin on a stand down day, trying to put out a press release. It is scheduled for the springtime. As of right now, that is moving along well. In the VRC meetings, you can see it's still being conducted with Judge Barash. If you can scroll up, the VRC, it looks like is May 21st. Then as you can see in the workforce, you know, the clients employed, the clients moving after 3 months. Again, this is just from January. So we are feeling pretty good. As you can see there on the vehicle assistance, out of 51,000, we have 31,000, roughly $800 spent. So that is on track to close out sometime probably in the summer of 2022. Can I answer any questions concerning that program at all?
Thank you for putting it together. People really appreciate the rides, that's for sure. And the Identical in the marketplace at Steamtown is doing great business. So we are providing major services to the community. So thanks for putting that together. IT report, Sarah?
Hi, so everyone got a copy of my report in the email. So if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Well, that's
Hi.
okay. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can either ask them now or Sarah probably be available in the morning to answer questions. So thank you for that. Executive Director's report, Jim?
Okay, I wanted to provide a little update on the rebranding and the advertising. It is moving along. Obviously, this was a long process. Again, I'd like to thank everybody that's been a part of it. The flyers, hopefully all of you got mailed the flyers that we sent out to all of our community partners in 5 counties and organizations and governments to let them know about the name change. The trifold was just approved today, so that'll be going to print, or we're going to be getting 3,000 copies of that. There is a video going to be getting made that we're going to be able to put on our website, and also for our onboarding that was part of our contract. And unfortunately, we're still waiting on the IRS to approve our name change from SLHDA to ACE. So that is taking longer than expected. The state went really relatively easy. The IRS just seems to be the IRS. It's, I don't know a better way of saying it, but it's a little frustrating, but you have to be patient with them, I guess. So the vaccinations, you did see that. It is having an impact on us. We have 25 employees, but not only that, as you heard Linda state in her report, is school districts that we have slots out in different counties, especially our rural counties, will not follow the masking guidelines and or the testing, which they don't have to, but in order for us to work with us, they have to. So we've lost slots there. And that is definitely going to impact some of our PDE, pre-K counts and HISAP funding. And it's a concern, but we're not the only ones having that problem. Every agency, I think, in the state and every Head Start agency that does multiple things in the country is having an issue. So it is impacting us, but we are required to do it, and we have to do it. And so we just got to keep moving along. But I did want to put that on the record that it is impacting us tremendously and has impacted us with staffing as well. The pre-K center, we are waiting on a 1303 application. We are expecting that phase 2 to be about a $1.4 million project. We haven't heard yet from the federal government. We cannot move forward without them giving us an approval, since we will be declaring a federal interest into the place. So as soon as we hear from that, we can proceed. The problem there now is, and they are aware of it, is that the bids were only good to January 5th. So the prices that we have on the bids may have increased, may have changed things. And it will be a little bit of trying to make sure that those bids are still locked in place if we're needed, or if they've gone up high, how much, and then how are we gonna fund that additional dollar amount, which I've already heard from the contractors that prices are going up. So is there anything that I can answer concerning the rebranding, the vaccinations, pre-K center, or anything else? Great. So I guess that the other thing is just gonna be, that we do have our reorganization meeting coming up in March. That'll be an in-person at Cusimano's. So hopefully everybody can make that, even those board members that will not be coming back on board. As you know, we do have the end of the year meeting, and then we reorganize, and then we go into new business. So looking forward to seeing everybody there.
Okay, Jim, under other business, we still have 2 or 3 items, and they will need motions for approval by the full board. On February 9th, we met with the Finance Committee of the board, met with Mark Cardoni of Barbetti McLean Accounting Services. We did an extensive, Barbetti McHale Accounting. We did an extensive review of the audit and of the agency's 990 for the last fiscal year. We asked questions. There were questions to be asked. I'd like to thank the people of the committee who really take time to pay attention and look it all over. Mark Cardoni does an excellent job of doing that presentation. The other folks from the office were under the weather, so Mark really handled the ball very well. From the staff, Jim was there along with Rosie and Dave. So the audit of the 990, once we approve it today, and we will need separate motions. They have been sent out. The audits are available. The 990 will be available on the website. And again, we really had glowing colors from our accountant as to on the cooperation of the staff, preparation of the documents. They find our process when they come into the office extremely easy, and the staff to be extremely helpful. And from that, we'd like to thank them, and Dave, pass on to your staff appreciation of the board for making this easy for the rest of for the Mark Cardoni and Barbetti McHale. So first is the approval of the 990. We have permission. I've signed off on the permission to submit it. As soon as we finish this meeting tonight, the 990 will be filed. Is there a motion to approve the 990?
I so move, Marilyn.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Nancy Perry, second.
Thank you, Nancy. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 990 is approved. We need approval of the agency annual audit. This was also a major undertaking. It's many pages long. They found no exceptions. Everything that we had was in good shape. We reviewed the purchasing policy. We did a lot of review on that. And again, they complimented us for the thoroughness of our staff. The audit is available. If you would like it in hard copy, let Jim know. We'll get you a hard copy. If you would like to look at it online, where board members will make it available. Is there a motion to approve the agency annual audit?
I'll make it, Bill.
Thank you, Don. On the question?
I'll second it. It's Karen.
Thank you, Karen. 2 very active members of the committee, by the way, Don and Karen. Thank you for that. On the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it and so ordered. Final thing that the Audit and Finance Committee has to do is review the performance of our executive director and his compensation. And again, under the guidance of Mark Cardoni, he informed us that we're in line with everything. His approval was in very good position. And we thank Jim for the hard work he's done and the way he moves the agency ahead. Again, we would just need a motion to approve that we discussed his evaluation, and his compensation. So
I'll make
I
that
would ask-
motion.
Thank you, Ed. Is there a second?
Second, Marilyn.
Thank you, Marilyn. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, and it's approved as presented. The executive committee met briefly to approve bylaw changes that were sent out. And again, this is more formality that we need the full board to approve bylaw changes as they were presented throughout the year. Is there a motion to approve bylaw changes?
Joanne,
Yes, Kelly Narika.
Thank you. Second,
I'll second it. Joe Murphy. Sorry.
thank you. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, and the bylaws are approved as presented. Changes and amendments are approved as presented. Final action taken by the committee that day was the selection committee met, reviewed the attendance, reviewed the agencies of the 7 public and 7 private. Recommendation to the full board is to remain status quo. We had no public official asked for a seat on the board. We had no outside agencies ask for a seat on the board. Our target sector is good for 1 more year. They're elected on a 2-year basis. So our board would remain the same with the letters going out to the 7 elected officials and the 7 community organizations that make up our public and private sectors of the board. Those letters will be going out tomorrow, pending approval right now. Is there a motion to approve the selection committee report?
make a motion to approve, Joanne.
Thank you, Joanne. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Don. On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Selection committee report is approved as presented. I don't have any other business. Is there other business to come before us?
Bill, I didn't get in until almost halfway through the meeting. I mean, Xi Jinping must be interfering with my connection. Can you hear me?
Yeah, just
Yes.
fine, Don.
Okay, I want to go back to the Head Start there. Was anything done about the rewards money that's accumulating? It's now over $2,000.
You know, Don, that, in all honesty, we forgot to ask our accountant about that, but no, there was nothing done on that. And maybe I'll have Dave tomorrow send an email to Barbetti and ask.
Okay, and
him
also
about
the
that.
second page of the credit report, or the credit bill itself was not listed. It was only the first item that Jim Wansek purchased for $400 and some, and the remaining balance was not listed.
Okay, we'll make sure that we get that corrected for the next meeting, that the entire
Okay.
credit report comes out.
Good enough.
Thank you for picking up on that. There's no other business to come before us. Our next regular scheduled meeting is our March meeting, Tuesday, March 15th, 6 PM at Crucemanos for our board reorganization
Motion
meeting.
to adjourn if needed.
It is needed. Thank
I'll
you.
second
Mr.
it.
Lee.
I'll
Yeah.
second it. Don, I had problem getting in too.
I'll tell you, it was terrible. I mean,
I kept getting a little box.
Well, Don, you can call your buddies down in Washington, tell them to get that.
you see, you're breaking up
Right,
now. I
money
can
out.
hardly hear you. I mean, it's been in and out the whole meeting.
We need that Biden money to improve broadband in the northern tier, so that might make a difference. We are
Yeah.
adjourned. Thank you all.